India is among 6 countries that may see a large COVID-19 themed phishing campaign that is scheduled to take place on June 21st. According to security-focused tech website ZDNet, North Korean state hacker group Lazarus are believed to be behind the massive attack that will see more than 50 lakh businesses and individuals receiving phishing email messages from spoofed government accounts. Lazarus hackers claim to have details of 11 lakh individual email IDs in Japan, another 20 lakh in India, and 1.8 lakh business contacts in the UK. The report quoted cybersecurity company Cypherma CEO saying that all 6 government computer emergency response teams, including in India, have been alerted. All 6 agencies had acknowledged the alert and currently were investigating the attack.
Popular Chinese social media app WeChat has removed updates by the Embassy of India that had Prime Minister Narendra Modi's statement on the border conflict between India and China. The app also deleted posts about the phone call between the Indian and Chinese foreign ministers and a statement by the External Affairs Ministry's spokesperson. The posts were reportedly removed for divulging state secrets and endangering national security. This comes in the backdrop of the violent face-off between Indian and Chinese troops in eastern Ladakh's Galwan Valley region earlier this week that left 20 Indian Army soldiers dead.
The Indian government has clarified that it hasn't ordered Google and Apple to ban Chinese apps like TikTok and Cam Scanner from Play Store and App Store respectively. This follows a viral message allegedly from IT Ministry's National Informatics Center that claims a restriction of certain apps from both the popular app stores in the country. It includes 15 apps, most of which are based out of China, and even includes games like Mobile Legends, Clash of Kings, and Gale of Sultans. The fake order comes amidst escalating tensions between India and China, as well as an anti-China sentiment in the country that seeks a ban on Chinese apps and products. Apple has announced that it's temporarily shutting 11 stores in the US across Florida, Arizona, North Carolina, and South Carolina as the COVID-19 cases continue to rise in the country. The tech giant said that customers who have products in those stores for repair will have the weekend to get their devices back. Apple had initially closed all its retail stores outside Greater China in March to contain the spread of the virus. It had planned to reopen about 100 US stores, mostly with curbside pickup, but some with walk-in service, in late May as lockdown restrictions began to ease. Safety measures included wearing mandatory masks, temperature checks, curbside pickups in certain regions, and service by appointment were put in place. Apple is reportedly planning to shift iPhone SE 2020 assembly from China to India. Tech news website Apple Insider said, citing sources, that Apple has asked one of its Chinese suppliers to start shipping iPhone SE components to Indian manufacturing partners. This will allow the tech giant to avoid a hefty 20% tax levied on smartphones imported into the country and possibly a reduced cost for Apple's affordable smartphone. The iPhone SE 2020, which packs a 12-megapixel single rear camera setup and Apple's A13 Bionic chip, was launched earlier in April at a starting price of 42,500 rupees for the 64GB storage model. And when normalized to the US dollar, it translates to around $558, that is $159 higher than the $399 retail price in the US market. The news of iPhone SE assembly in India comes 2 weeks after the government announced its production-linked incentive scheme to increase manufacturing in the country. Microblogging site Twitter is now rolling out its new list search option to all users that allows them to find relevant Twitter lists and add them to their feed. Users can now tap on a Show More Recommendations prompt at the bottom in the Discover New List section to get to the list search option. The new option provides a public collection of lists displayed by topic that users can follow, making it easy to connect with different topics of interest across the platform. The lists that show up in the search results are reportedly based on a combination of who the user follows, the list that the user currently follows, and the things the user and list tweet about. The feature seems to be rolling out for Android and iOS users in phases. According to Ross Young, CEO of Display Supply Chain Consultants, the successor to Motorola's foldable Razr has been delayed by a quarter due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. This follows last month's reveal by a Lenovo executive that the Motorola Razr 2 would be released around September this year. There's also a possibility for the company to announce the phone in the fourth quarter of the year and begin selling it in the first quarter of 2021, just like its predecessor. The Moto Razr 2 is rumored to come with a larger 6.7-inch display, support for 5G connectivity, and a more powerful Snapdragon 765 chipset. But if the smartphone is delayed, it leaves plenty of room for its competitors Samsung Galaxy Fold 2 and the Galaxy Z Flip 5G, expected to be unveiled in August. The Moto Razr 2019 edition went on sale in India earlier this year on May 8 for 1,24,999 rupees. It features a 6.2-inch flexible OLED screen on the inside and a secondary 2.7-inch OLED panel on the outer clamshell. There is a single 16-megapixel camera that can be used for selfies in the Razr's folded state, along with a 5-megapixel selfie camera embedded in the notched 21:9 aspect ratio display. Motorola is planning to introduce a new member to its Edge family, the Motorola Edge Lite, which will be a toned-down version of the Motorola Edge that was launched in India last month. The smartphone will reportedly have a 6.7-inch FHD Plus screen with a 90Hz refresh rate but won't carry the waterfall display of its older siblings. The Edge Lite will be powered by the Snapdragon 765 chipset, paired with up to 6GB of LPDDR4X RAM and 128GB of UFS 2.1 storage. It will come with a 48-megapixel quad-rear camera setup and an 8-megapixel dual selfie snapper in a hole-punch display. The Android 10 powered device is expected to have a dedicated Google Assistant button, NFC and 5G, as well as a 4800 mAh battery with 18-watt fast charging. Meanwhile, Motorola's flagship smartphone, the Edge Plus, is up for grabs in India for 74,999 rupees via Flipkart. It features a 6.7-inch Full HD Plus 90Hz OLED display and runs on the Snapdragon 865 chipset with 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM and 256GB of UFS 3.0 storage.